First, we'll hear from the researchers and entrepreneurs from PEI's WearTech Applied Research Center. The WearTech Center is located at the heart of Phoenix's bioscience core, where researchers can easily connect with clinicians and members of the surrounding ecosystem. So WearTech takes innovative ideas that may have been developed through university research, combines those ideas with businesses who want to commercialize them, then adds in that public financial investment that we were just talking about to accelerate projects and products that are ready to go to market.
I'm now pleased to introduce to you a fantastic team member who leads PEI's Applied Research Strategy, Kathleen Lee. Kathleen is Director of Applied Research Centers at PEI and Senior Vice President of Regional Initiatives at Greater Phoenix Economic Council, where she leads high-impact projects to advance Arizona's capacity for innovation and job creation. Kathleen, turn it over to you to introduce our WearTech panelists.
Thank you, Dean. And hello, everyone. It's been my honor to be part of the Applied Research Initiative and being able to work with amazing WearTech companies and innovators, constantly learning from them. And I hope you will too, hearing from my innovation leaders on the panel today. So let's get started. I'm excited to introduce to you our panelists who are all addressing critical needs in healthcare and other industries through their work and companies. Our first panelist is Vicki Mayo. She is a self-made serial entrepreneur and the business powerhouse behind the startup, the TouchPoint Solutions. She invented patent pending technology that reduces stress in 30 seconds. And Vicki is also the newest member of our WearTech Advisory Board. Next, we have Dr. Joe Hitt. He is recognized as a national expert in wearable robotic systems, and his company, GoX Labs, is developing and testing new exoskeleton technology at the WearTech Center. And then rounding out the panel today is Dr. Jennifer Blain Christen. She leads the BioElectrical Systems and Technology Lab at ASU. Her WearTech project, as part of our upcoming cohort, is a fetal monitor that ensures safe infant delivery. So welcome, everyone. We're excited to hear from all of you. Okay, Joe, let's start with you. Can you talk about why wearable technology is such a promising area of research and product development?
Yeah, thank you. First of all, thanks for letting me be here. This is fantastic, and I just love the idea that over the last several years, we've really been able to create this kind of center of gravity, in wearable technology, really with the support of PEI, the state, Kathleen, you, WearTech. So thank you so much. Well, the need is so great. 89 million workers are exposed to injury on a daily basis. And the problem is only getting worse, as you can imagine, because the workforce is aging. We have diabetes in the workforce. We have obesity in the workforce. And the sheer velocity, the pace of work is increasing on a daily basis. And so what we are doing at WearTech today, in partnership with Arizona State University and a local company called AKE, is to build the very first quasi-passive exoskeleton. So quasi-passive, what that means is we use sensors to turn on springs at the exact moment those springs are needed to literally uplift our workers. We're gonna test these exoskeletons over the course of this year with local companies like Amazon and Lucent Motors. And I think we're gonna truly transform human capability with these quasi-passive exoskeletons.
That sounds so exciting, Joe, and we look forward to continuing to work with you. So let's go to Vicki. We would love to hear more about your validation process behind the technology that you're working on, and why is this process such an important one?
Thank you so much, Kathleen, and thanks so much for everyone that's attending the Innovation Summit today. Our company, TouchPoint Solution, invented a stress-relieving wearable device called TouchPoints. We're so excited because we are currently working with the WearTech Center on the product development of our newest version of TouchPoints. Product development is the actualization of an idea, and that inherently creates a lot of risk. For the development of most products, you're working across a wide variety of multiple disciplines and multiple teams. For us at TouchPoint, we needed help with not only mechanical engineering, but industrial design, app development, and an entire data science team. The WearTech Center mitigated this risk for us with working with multiple vendors and multiple teams by creating an ecosystem of trusted vendors that could help with product development. For us particularly, they connected us with Arizona State University's Lumosity Lab, who was able to provide all of these services directly under one roof. Second, the WearTech Center provides a level of oversight. And for us, again, particularly, it helped to ensure that we were pursuing an idea that had market applicability and fit. And lastly, the WearTech Center's matching grant component helped us to finance our project. So personal plug for the center, anyone that's doing work in the wearable space, I highly recommend that you can contact them and explore all the different venues that are available to you.
Thanks, Vicki. And I love that you pointed out the ecosystem and how important that is to be part of this innovation process. So let's go to Jennifer. You've been part of the WearTech Center and you have another exciting project coming up. What's been your experience being part of the WearTech Center?
I think one of the things that's been incredibly helpful for me as a researcher is to work with the center in understanding how to set up all of the contracts and agreements, relationships, finding those individuals who have problems that I can bring my science to solve, and not having to really worry about all of those other things, the lawyers and agreements that I'm not really well suited to set up on my own. And so really, there's been a lot of advocacy for me as a researcher in setting up these agreements, setting up things that are going to be successful, and understanding how to combine the efforts of a lot of different groups in a way that's going to be successful. So it's been really nice to have that support. Wes has been fantastic in helping me understand a lot of the paperwork, that I'm not a lawyer, and allow me to really spend the time focusing on the science that I love to do.
And that's great to hear, Jennifer. And of course, I'm not a lawyer, and so the support that we are able to provide to our startup companies and innovators has been really rewarding for us to see the success that have come out of the work that we've been doing. But let me go back to Vicki and want to ask you, what are your next steps before bringing your product to market?
Thanks, Kathleen. That's a great question. Right now, as we're doing the product development, in tandem with that, we're working on all of the, I would call it some of the exciting stuff, a lot of the branding, what are we going to call the new product? How are we going to release it to market? And as we dig deeper and deeper into those steps, I have no doubt that we will be reaching out to that ecosystem that you mentioned to bounce ideas off and to get great guidance. And I think that's one of the most amazing things about Arizona in general and our innovation ecosystem is that it doesn't matter who you pick up the phone and call, whether it's a vendor or a friend or so. I feel like the people in Arizona step up just to support. And so we're very excited as we move into the next phase of how we're going to launch this product onto market, that we continue to work with what we have available to us.
Thanks, Vicki. So kind of similar question to you, Joel, and I know you work a lot with different industries and your reach has been global. Tell us more about how you collaborate and engage with industry, other industry partners and research institutions.
Yeah, thanks for that question. So Tom Sugar, professor at Arizona State University, and myself, by the way, Tom Sugar is my PhD advisor. So I've known him for a long time, a good friend of mine. Him and I started the Wearable Robotics Trade Association 6 years ago, and we have conferences all over the world. Next one is WearCon 22. It's going to be a physical event in April in Scottsdale, Arizona. And I think what we need is more of that. We need to be a leader in the different areas of wearable technology. to really create that hub here in Arizona for us in exoskeletons.
Thanks, Joe. And let's go to Jennifer, back to Jennifer. As a renowned scientist and innovator, how do you see the continued collaboration between industry and university shaping up?
I've seen a lot of growth, and one of the things I'm really passionate about is translational work in the wearable space. I don't want to just do things in my laboratory. I want to see them actually get to people, have impact in our within Arizona and then the broader global environment. And so I think there have been so many excellent resources that have been developed in Arizona to really encourage and incubate these relationships between companies, between researchers. And we have an incredible resource in intellect, as well as the programs that have been developed to further these efforts. So I think that one of the things that I'd like to see is just more knowledge. And this is actually one of the things that's great, getting the word out, letting people know that these resources are available, so we have more people taking advantage of them, more people involved, and really leveraging all of that knowledge and all of the human resource, all of the things that we have going on in Arizona that are going to enable a lot of advances in the wearable space.
Thank you, Jennifer. And we're pretty excited too of the ecosystem development and the investment that the state is making in realizing all of these resources that our innovators need. And we're getting recognized nationally for the growth of our great companies, and that's attracting other talented individuals to our state. So we're really excited. And so as a closing question, I want all of you to kind of look ahead into the future, and would love to hear from you. What more should Arizona be doing to really position ourselves as innovation leaders in wearable technology? So let's start with Vicki.
Thanks, Kathleen. It's such a great question. Without innovation, we will continue to stagnate. We won't move forward. So I think it's really important that as Arizona looks to the future and continues to take that great place in the country, being an innovation leader, we have to continue to attract top talent. We have to keep innovating. We've got to keep bringing cutting edge companies to the state. I think that creating that overall environment that continues to sustain and to support these types of companies is something that Arizona needs to continue to actively work on. In addition to strengthening, the foundation and the groundwork that's already been laid with things like the innovation flywheel and all of the applied centers that we just talked about at the beginning of our summit. I think it's also important that we continue to improve our education system, our housing system, and our jobs, because that's what's going to provide the sustainment of all the amazing work that we're putting into place right now.
Thanks, Vicki. That's amazing vision for Arizona. What about you, Joe?
Yeah, I think that we really have to increase that velocity of innovation. And we need to increase that velocity of investment. And then we have to connect that innovation, that investment to need. And I think that's what we're doing really well already. This is a vibrant state. There's so much going for us. And so I think that increasing the velocity of innovation, increasing the velocity of investment, and then connecting that to real world needs, that's what we need to continue to do. And I think what organizations like PEI and WearTech really helps us with is, as a researcher, is to say, well, this is such a great little technology, but when PEI and WearTech come in, they look at that and go, but what need does that solve? How scalable is that solution? So that connectivity has been so important, and I think we just need to continue that.
Thanks, Joe. That's great. So lastly, Jennifer, what are some closing thoughts?
I absolutely agree with what we've heard so far. Really great statements. In addition, I always try to talk to people about participatory innovation. And this summit and PEI, WearTech all help with that. We want to ensure that the people who are in the lab doing the research are talking to the end users, talking to the investors, talking to the state, so that we all understand the rapidly changing ecosystem that we have here in Arizona. And that will allow the state to really support us in a way that is growing as we grow as a leader in medical technology and wearable devices.
Thank you. Thank you, Jennifer. And thank you, Joe and Vicki. This has been a great conversation. Really appreciate your thoughts and your vision and leadership. Before we conclude our WearTech panel, we actually have a message to share from a panelist who wasn't able to join us today. Dr. Zachary Lerner is an assistant professor of engineering at Northern Arizona University, and he's pioneering robotics to improve mobility and neuromotor functions for individuals with disabilities. So let's roll video and take a look at the work he's doing.
Hi, my name is Zach Lerner. I'm an assistant professor in mechanical engineering at Northern Arizona University. I'm also a co-founder and CTO of BiOMOTUM, a wearable robotics company. We're really thrilled to take part in this WearTech Applied Research Center. So we're developing robotic solutions to impaired mobility. Our primary focus has been on assisting individuals with cerebral palsy and other pediatric movement disorders, and we use lightweight wearable robotics to help make walking easier. We're trying to leverage the electrification that's happening in the transportation sector to deliver life-changing technology that people can actually afford. So being a part of this latest WearTech cohort will significantly advance the development of our product. So our product has been developed for use in physical therapy settings, so in clinical environments. And this award will help us develop the technology for use at home and in the community. So these are the locations that are really critical for driving adoption and maximizing the impact. This award will also help us complete product development activities that are really critical to our success, including establishing a quality management system, completing validation testing, things like that. I'd like to thank the Arizona Commerce Authority and our partners at the WearTech Applied Research Center for making this award happen. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathleen, and to our WearTech panelists. That was really exciting. Great to be a part of this ecosystem, and really important to hear all of it.